What's up guys, Mike here, the Detroit Borg with the largest unboxing I've ever done on this channel. LG was kind enough to send this out to me for my unbiased review, but if you want to win one, they are running a contest, so check the description below for all the details. So this curved 4K OLED TV is a technology I've been waiting for quite a while. OLED is able to deliver those deep, solid blacks with those bright, vivid colors. And because this is an Ultra HD or 4K TV, we have a resolution of 3840 by 2610, which is able to deliver really sharp video. Now this will upscale your content to this resolution, but using WebOS 2.0, you can actually stream 4K content directly to your TV using services that support it, like Netflix and YouTube. This TV also has really impressive sound design thanks to Harman Kardon audio, so you don't necessarily need to add speakers if you want to avoid it. Now this is a smart TV with a host of features powered by WebOS 2.0 and a quad-core processor. We also use something called a magic remote control to interact with the interface, which we'll demonstrate in this video. And of course you do have voice search in here as well. Now, although I'm unboxing this TV myself, you probably should get somebody else to help you. So the first thing I want to do here is remove the box. I'm going to cut the tape along the side because the TV itself is actually sitting in a tray that's at the bottom of the box. So once I lift that out of the way, you can see the TV. Now it's facing in the wrong direction for me here, so you can see the back of the TV. So all I'm going to do is flip it around so we can face it forward. Now the first thing I want to do here is pull out the TV stand, which again is wrapped in lots of styrofoam and plastic. The TV stand is quite heavy. I think it's about 30 pounds or so. And this is, of course, a base to stabilize the TV once it's installed. The TV also has a see-through sort of plexiglass stand, so it looks like the TV is floating once it's on the stand. Also included is the accessory box. So that includes our remote controller. This is called a Magic Remote, which includes a set of batteries, and we'll take a close look at that in just a minute. We also get some analog adapters for component and RCA. We also get a wire strap for some cable management, and we also get a set of screws for installing the stand. This is also a 3D TV, so we get a set of passive 3D glasses along with a set of clip-ons. So in theory, you could have up to 4 users. And we also get a set of cleaning cloths for cleaning those lenses. So getting back to the TV itself, what I need to do is lay it down. So I've reinstalled the styrofoam, which came up with the box, and I'm going to reinforce the box so I can lay it flat on the box. I need to do this in order to install the stand. So with the TV laying flat, I can get access to the bottom of the TV. First thing I need to do here is remove all the packaging that's protecting it. Now the mounting points for the stand are actually covered up with a piece of plastic trim, which is basically held on with Velcro. And you can pop this off and you can see the mounting points for the 4 brackets. Once that's lined up, I can go ahead and use the screws to secure it into place. So once the stand is installed, I can go ahead and reinstall the back panel to keep it all nice and covered up. Now you can mount this on the wall. There is a standard VISA mount here, so if you prefer to do that, you can do that as well. Now before I get the TV upright, let's take a look at some of the ports which would otherwise be hard to see. So we have some down-facing ports, which includes an internet LAN port. We also have our analog input. So again, those work with the adapters. We also have our digital optical output. So if you want to connect this to an AV receiver for full 7.1 surround sound, you can do that. We also have our antenna in. So if you want to connect to either a terrestrial antenna or your cable service, you can plug it in here. We also have our side ports. So we have 3 HDMI ports, which are 4K, but only HDMI 1 and 2 work with 4K deep color. We also have 3 USB ports. One of them is USB 3.0, the other 2 are USB 2.0, and we have our standard audio out for headphones. So lifting up the styrofoam, there we have it, the 4K OLED TV with that really deep black display, which is very anti-reflective, so it really mitigates glare. The great thing about OLED TVs is that you have infinite off-axis viewing angles without distortion. So because we have this curved design that works especially well in this case, so you see really no off-axis distortion with the TV. So along the back, you can see the TV is entirely white, with half of it sort of bumped out to house all the electronics along with your speakers. But the upper half is razor thin and really stunning to look at. There's actually a texture back here that's sort of etched into the pearlescent finish. But again, you don't really see it if it's facing the wall. But again, it's a really nice detail and you can tell this is a premium TV. Now take a look at the remote controller. This is called the Magic Remote. So it looks like a standard remote controller, but we have voice and we have motion. So this has an accelerometer which responds to motion, so that's how you mouse around on the interface. We also have a standard array of controls, such as our number pad in addition to volume up, volume down, channel buttons, mute in addition to our home button, which allows us to bring up the on-screen interface. We have back and exit in addition to our settings button, as well as a 3D button for activating the 3D feature, and of course you have your voice button for activating the voice commands. We also have a different type of D-pad. Instead of just an OK button toward the center, we also have a click wheel, which allows you to scroll through the interface. And of course, surrounding that, we have a D-pad. And because this is a universal remote, we also have this on-screen remote button. So this allows us to bring up an on-screen representation of the button for the corresponding component. So for example, for your cable box, you'll actually see the on-screen representation of the remote that comes with that cable box, or your Blu-ray player, or your AV receiver, or that sort of thing. So in terms of picture quality, there really is nothing like an OLED display. It really solves many of the problems that an LCD or LED backlit TV has, which includes uneven backlighting because we don't have a backlight here. The pixels light themselves. That also means we get true blacks. So unless the pixel is lit, the display is completely black, which is really stunning. Now the LG display here is using red, green, blue, and white pixels instead of the standard RGB pixels, so it's able to produce really stunning colors in a wide color gamut. And the other stunning attribute of OLED is that we have no off-axis viewing distortion, so no matter how you look at the display, you see the same color vibrancy as you would if you're sitting right in front of it. So that looks especially impressive on this curved panel. Next up, let's walk through the WebOS interface, and there's a lot going on here. So right now I'm watching my broadcast TV or my Comcast service, Xfinity. So if I press the home button, you can see it brings up my launcher with this little cursor that I can hover around using the remote controller. It works really well. I don't have to hover my hand in the middle of thin air. I can actually just twist my wrist while it's resting comfortably. So we have our launcher, which includes our recent apps. So I was just watching Netflix, and I'm tuned into my Comcast service up here, so you can see what I'm watching right now. And you can see I have Today, which features content I may want to tune into. We have my channel, so I can customize the channels that I can quickly tune into here. So I can select history, discovery, or more. So if I want to tune into the history channel, this will actually send an IR code to my cable box to tune into that channel. So while I'm watching live TV, I can actually go over to the right here with my cursor, and I can see my channel guide pop up right here. So it populates my channel guide and tells me what those channels are broadcasting right now. So if I want to tune into that, I can just tap on it, and again, it will tune that cable box to that channel. So it works really well here. We also have recommended, so based on the content you're watching or the time of day, this will recommend some other titles you can watch right now or in the future. Now if I go back to the home screen here, I can also see my recent apps. So anything I've recently accessed, which includes my LG Content Store, Amazon, Netflix, and etc., that's all to the left. So it's always ready to go. So if you jump between different services, everything is basically in standby, which is very helpful. Now of course we have lots of apps down here. So we have Netflix, and it does support 4K video streaming. So if you have 4K titles down here, you will be able to see it on this TV, which is really nice here. But of course, one of my favorite shows is Star Trek: The Next Generation. I can go ahead and resume where I last left off, and you can see it's ready to go right away. This is a really fast interface here. So I can scrub to what I want to watch in this scene, click play, and it jumps right to it. We can go to more here, and there's a lot of other options here. So again, we have a web browser. So this is a full-blown web browser. It does have some limitation. It of course doesn't have Flash, and it's not a terribly fast web browser, but we can open up tabs, set bookmarks, and that sort of thing here. So here we are on 9 to 5 Google, and because we have this 4K display, text is actually really sharp and readable here. So I can navigate using the scroll wheel on the remote controller to navigate up and down. I can also enter in the URL up here, so if I bring it up, you can see it brings up the keyboard, and again, it works really nicely with this hovering cursor. So we have other things like a user guide. We have our device connectors. So this TV can control devices connected to it, such as Blu-ray players, home theaters, soundbars, game consoles, even a smartphone. So for example, if you want to use a smartphone to control your TV, this will tell you how to do that. So we have things like screen sharing, content sharing, and TV control. So if you select it, this will give you instructions on how to set that up. We also have Smart Share. This is a way of sharing photos, videos, and music between devices. So right now you can see some stuff is actually loaded on this TV, but you can also connect other things like the LG camera or the LG photo editor to edit images from that LG camera. But again, you can see photos, videos, and music loaded on this TV. We also have something called Screen Share. This allows us to mirror devices to this TV. So for example, Android devices, which work with Mirrorcast, you can mirror it to this TV. We can also mirror our PC, and again, this will actually show you how to do it. We also have our TV guide. So if you want to see your TV listings and bypass the one that comes with your cable box, you have that option. So this is actually generated by the TV. This is not done on the Xfinity box itself. We also have a scheduler. So you can set reminders for certain programs using the guide. So I've already set 2 reminders here, and I can edit these or change them, or I can go ahead and add new ones. So you can either do this from the guide, or you can add new ones from within this interface. So I can go to a channel here, I can scroll to a specific time, and let's go ahead with this, Wild China. So we're going to set the reminder, click done, And if there's a conflict, it will let you know, and you can't set a conflicting reminder here. So you can see there's a little pop-up here, so we can jump right to it to see our entire listing. We also have the LG Content Store. So this is where you can purchase or rent content or download apps. So again, this is sort of a cross-platform, one-stop location for everything. It's a really nice way of accessing content and sort it by category. So we have TV shows, movies, premium content, 3D, apps, games, and My Page. So for example, if we go to TV shows here, so as you can see, we have top picks for me based on my viewing habits. So for example, I can go ahead and select Helix. So I can see everything about this TV series, and if I go to this drop-down menu, this will actually take me back to other search options if I want. So I can go back to movies, etc., or go back to the main screen. So if I want to watch this now, you can see there are multiple services in which this is available. So I can go to Amazon or Vudu. So again, a cross-platform search here. So if I go to Amazon, I can see whether this is available through Amazon Prime. So in this case, you can see it's launched me into the Amazon app, which allows me to buy it for $1.99 or $2.99 for HD, and I can see more episodes, more seasons, etc. Now this is a 3D TV, so we do have some 3D services here. So we do have some free content we can preview, such as a 3D trailer. So if I want to go to the Inside Out trailer, I can actually watch it in 3D and use the passive 3D glasses that come included. It actually works really well. And as you can see, I get a pop-up that says 3D signal detected, 3D is now on. And of course, we have an apps and game store, and there's actually quite a bit here. So we have 3D Go, which is basically a 3D rental service. So if you want to rent 3D content, you have an app for it, which is really nice. We have Pandora, Sirius XM, Crackle, and quite a few others. So if you want to download any one of these, just click on it. So let me go ahead and download Pandora. Click install. Now from here, I can launch the app, or I can go back to my menu and see it in the launcher. So I see Pandora right here, so I can launch it if I want, or if I want to delete it or uninstall it or just move it, just tap and hold on it, and I can now move it around, or I can go up to delete it. We also have our notifications. So this is where we can see all of our notifications, such as application updates or scheduling reminders or software updates and that sort of thing. Now at the very end here, I have my HDMI inputs. Again, I have 3 inputs. One is programmed for a game console, one is open, and one is my cable box. So I can quickly jump to them right here. Now we can also interact with the TV through voice search. Play Star Trek Into Darkness. So the search is for Star Trek Into Darkness, and I can limit by movies, YouTube, or the internet. So if I click movies here, I can go and select one of these. I can watch now, or I can see one of these featurettes down here using that scroll wheel to navigate through it. So let's go and click watch now. And you can see it searched several apps and found it under several apps here. So Amazon is one of them. So let me jump right to Amazon. All I have to do is click resume or play from beginning if I want. And there we go, we're watching Star Trek Into Darkness, and I can quickly scrub through the timeline here just by using the cursor and jumping right to that point on the timeline. And again, it's really responsive. Now, voice search is pretty sophisticated here, so we can do things like Note 5 unboxings on YouTube. So again, it quickly finds Note 5 unboxings specifically on YouTube, and I can jump right to mine if I want. So there we go, we have one of my 4K videos playing on this TV, and it looks absolutely fantastic. It's definitely the best my videos have ever looked on any display here, with that huge OLED display at 4K resolution. It's really stunning. Show me photos of a Yorkie. So in this case, it's done a cross-platform search for Yorkies. So I can see YouTube videos on Yorkies, or I can go to the internet for images on Yorkies, TV shows, etc. So if I go to internet, this will do a Bing search for images of Yorkies. So I can click images if I want. And again, this is where that browser really comes into handy. It can also answer questions. How tall is the new World Trade Center? Now, although it doesn't give you a specific answer, again, you can go to the internet to perform the search, and there we go. What's the weather like today? So in this case, we get an information card brought to you by AccuWeather, which shows you the current conditions for today, Thursday, and Friday. You can also quickly switch inputs by going to the upper right corner here. You get to your input selector. And here you can see live TV, Comcast I'm on right now, game console, HDMI 3, or all inputs. Now if you go to all inputs, you can actually browse them. So for example, if I want to take a look at my game console, which is on right now, and then I have another console here, which is the Xbox. So that's the PS4 and that's the Xbox. And I can name these if I want, so I can rename them. So I can go to edit and I can input the text, or I can just select one of the predetermined icons and names. We can also quickly access our quick settings. So if we go to our quick settings, we have our picture profile, sound profile, aspect ratio, sleep timer, and parental locks. So under picture, we have vivid, standard, which is what I prefer. We also have APS for power saving mode, cinema, which softens the details and makes it a little darker, sports, game, photo, expert 1 and expert 2, which you can customize. We also have our sound profile for standard, cinema, news, sports, and music, as well as game. We also have our aspect ratio for 16:9, just scan, set by program, 4:3, zoom, or cinema, zoom level 1. We have our sleep timer, so we have off, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour, an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours, and 4 hours. And we can also input a parental lock. Now we also have advanced settings, and they are really advanced. There's a lot to take a look at here, but I'll try to be brief. So we have our picture settings, so you can highly customize your picture settings. So we can change our picture mode here, so we can change the OLED light, contrast, brightness, sharpness, color tint, color temperature, advanced controls. So this allows you to adjust settings for individual modes, picture options that adjust the detail settings to further optimize the picture, or you can reset to factory. We also have sound, so we have smart sound mode, which will automatically optimize sound based on the content type. I'm going to leave that off because I prefer it to be set to standard at all times. We also have sound effects as well, so you can customize the audio effects. So if you click on this, I guess you have some options here. Ultra surround on or off. Clear voice too, so enhances voice quality so you can hear voices better in your movies or TV shows. We also have our equalizer, so you can customize the EQ if you want, so you have to turn that on. We also have sound output, so you can select which device or what sound output you're getting. So you can do audio output over HDMI, LG SoundSync through optical, LG SoundSync through wireless, audio out through line out, wired headphones. And you can also go to your internal speakers plus audio output or internal speakers plus wired headphones. We have other things like AV sync adjustments, sound optimizer, and you can do a sound test. We also have our network, so you can change the name of the TV on the network, and you can see we have wired or Wi-Fi connection, and I'm using a wired connection in my case. We also have Wi-Fi Direct and LG connected apps. Under General, we have language, location, date and time, timers, account management, in addition to the brightness of the LG logo light. So you can turn this off if you don't want it, but when the TV is turned off, you'll see the LG light light up. We also have home store mode, so you can enable that. Power saving mode, advertising cookies, so you can turn that on and off. Live Plus, so if you want to know what that is, this will tell you what it is. Mobile TV on. This enables other devices and apps to turn on your TV remotely. We also have SimpLink, which will actually allow LG devices connected to your TV to be controlled by the TV or vice versa. You can also reset to initial settings or check about this TV to see if you have the latest software updates. So in terms of TVs, this really is a major leap forward with a stunning 4K OLED panel, which really kills just about any display you've seen before, from plasma to LCD to LED backlit LCD. We also get one of the best interfaces I've seen on a TV thanks to WebOS and its Magic Remote Controller. I really like this combination, and voice command works extremely well. And the universal remote basically controls all your AV equipment. And included with the software is access to all your favorite streaming services, which work extremely well, from Netflix to Hulu to Amazon, and you have lots of 4K options which can actually use this display. Alrighty guys, so that is it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up to let me know, and I'll see you again in the next video.